In recent weeks, the Korean entertainment world has once again been shocked by a shocking confession from Eunwoo, one of the brightest idols who is currently serving his mandatory military service. Although the public very rarely heard detailed stories from within the unit, Eunwoo actually spoke more honestly than usual. In an internal conversation that eventually leaked to the Korean media, he revealed that he turned out to be the talk among senior military men. Not just a rumor, but an experience that left many fans torn between pride and anxiety. Eunwoo, who has always been known for his charming visuals, warm personality, and impeccable image in front of the public, suddenly reveals a completely different side. He said that when he first entered training, his seniors openly expressed curiosity, admiration, even a little intimidation because of his extraordinary fame. Eunwoo said that life in the military made him realize that popularity wasn't always an advantage. "I did not expect that far," he said with a tone of surprise and resignation. "Every day someone talks about me. Whether it's about my face, the way I run in training, to the little things I do in the dorm." According to internal sources, the seniors initially did not believe that an idol of Eunwoo's caliber was able to withstand such harsh physical training. Many secretly view him as the golden boy of the entertainment industry who will probably have a hard time adjusting. But apparently, it was Eunwoo's humble attitude and hard work that made the seniors even more curious. His every move was observed, assessed, even talked about in the dugout. "For better or worse, my name is always called," Eunwoo revealed that a soldier who had interacted with him said that there was a sense of awe as well as a separate pressure around Eunwoo. "At first we thought he would be spoiled or sensitive, but it turns out he's a hard worker. Even when everyone was exhausted, he still tried to keep up with the rhythm. Our senior originally thought he would only last a few weeks before complaining. But the reality is different. Maybe that's what keeps them talking about him, because he's not like their shadow." However, Eunwoo himself admits that excessive attention is not always pleasant. "I realized they didn't mean anything bad, but it felt weird when I walked into the cafeteria and everyone immediately noticed. Some praise, some are curious, some are a little teasing by saying, 'Visual center come in, tidy up the position,' or, well, the favorite actors of the Nuna come, sometimes funny, sometimes depressing." Eunwoo also told of a moment when a senior approached him and said that there was a small fight between several seniors about who had the right to train him directly. "I don't know whether to laugh or be afraid," he said half-jokingly. But it shows how powerful his influence is even in harsh environments like the military. During one of the long-distance running training sessions, a senior reportedly jokingly said, "Come on, Eunwoo, show that handsome faces can run fast too," and the whole unit laughed. Eunwoo laughed along, though inwardly he felt a mixture of shame and pride. He admitted that he had to work extra hard so as not to disappoint the expectations that suddenly arose from many people. "They wanted to see if I was just a face. That's a lot of pressure, but I try to make it motivating. Even so, not all talk about him is positive. There are also seniors who are testing their mental limits." One report said that there were seniors who deliberately gave more detailed or stricter instructions to Eunwoo, not because they wanted to torture him, but because they wanted to see how far he could go without showing any signs of flaccid celebrity. "I know they're watching me," Eunwoo said. "I can feel that look. Every time I'm a little wrong, they're quicker to comment. Sometimes it makes me want to disappear for a moment, but this is life in the military." Despite the pressure, Eunwoo was even more respected by his colleagues. He often gave words of encouragement, helped other struggling soldiers, and never once used his celebrity status as an excuse to get special treatment. In fact, some soldiers said that Eunwoo often became a place to vent to young people who felt homesick or stressed about a busy training schedule. "He's not just a visual," said a soldier closest to him. "He has a soft heart, but a firm one. Sometimes we forget that he is a superstar because his attitude is really populist." But as she stood in the light of the afternoon sun, with a face that didn't even need a filter, we realized, well, she was indeed Eunwoo. Meanwhile, the seniors who initially talked about him out of curiosity finally admitted that they began to respect him. One of the seniors said, "We were just curious at first as to why she was so popular. But after seeing how he worked hard, never complained, and always smiled even when his body must have been very tired, we came to understand. He's not just handsome, he has a mental toughness that not everyone has. But the peak of all that attention came one night after a strenuous training session. Eunwoo was sitting in front of the dormitory while cleaning his shoes when two seniors approached. They tell that almost every day his name appears in the chat, both at the training ground and during meals. One of them even said, "You know what? A lot of seniors here say you're like the main character of a drama that suddenly broke into our world. Not because you're an artist, but because you're completely different." Eunwoo chuckled, then confessed, "I just want to do this task well." The senior retorted, "You already did. Don't think too much about people's conversations. We're talking about you not to bring you down, but because you attract attention." But the psychological effect of being the center of the conversation made Eunwoo a little more introspective. He admitted that he often asked himself if he was able to meet the standards that others set for him. "I can't be perfect," he said. "I'm just the guy behind all the cameras. But here, I feel really real." The fans who heard this story gave a warm and emotional response. Many were both moved and proud that Eunwoo was able to get through those difficult times without losing his kindness. Some say that this story makes them even more aware of how much pressure is experienced by idols, even when they are far from the entertainment world. On the other hand, some analysts of Korean culture judge that the phenomenon of Eunwoo being talked about in the military reflects how strong the influence of a celebrity whose image has stuck so deeply in the public eye. Even in an environment known to be harsh and all-disciplined, a figure like Eunwoo still stood out just by his presence. Recent reports say that now the seniors are no longer talking about Eunwoo in a surprised tone like they used to. Instead, they spoke with a sense of pride, as if Eunwoo was their own younger brother. Many give advice, protect him from prankster ridicule, and even help guide him not to burn out. Nevertheless, Eunwoo himself said that the attention was not something he pursued. "I just want to finish my job. If they talk about me, I hope it's because of a good thing, not just my face." But as always, where there is Eunwoo, there is also an emotional story that is difficult to forget. He was once caught holding back tears when one of his toughest seniors said, "You're making this unit a little warmer." That simple sentence, according to a witness, made Eunwoo completely speechless for a few seconds before smiling. Now, while still on active duty, Cha Eunwoo has become a symbol of how celebrities can face harsh realities without losing their identity. The conversation about him continues, but now in a more mature and respectful tone. Eunwoo closed his story with one sentence that left many touched. "Outside, people see me as Cha Eunwoo ASTRO. But here, I'm just Dong Min, and that's enough." In a world where the camera's glare often overshadows the human side of a star, Cha Eunwoo's candid confession is a new window into what his heart is all about. And behind all the talk, whether it's admiration, pressure, or jokes, one thing remains clear. Cha Eunwoo isn't just the talk of his seniors. He's an inspiration to many who realize that being strong doesn't always mean being perfect. After Cha Eunwoo's confessions about him become the talk of seniors in the military began to spread, new shadows about his life in the barracks began to appear. Many people thought that a celebrity of his class would just be a brief cameo in military life. Present, obey the rules, then go through the days without too much interaction. But apparently, Eunwoo actually became the center of a wave of curiosity that he never expected. There is a kind of magnetism that makes it difficult for anyone around him not to notice him, even when he just walks from one post to another with tired steps after a long workout.